Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the most magical podcast in the Midwest, the Magic in the Midwest podcast, starring USA Today bestselling author J.B. Michaels and his more successful wife, Ashley Michaels. And now, your hosts. Oh boy, this is podcast number 68, Ash.
Ooh,
68 of these.
getting up there.
We are. 68 years. No, podcasts. Well, it feels like I've been with you for 68 years. Hey now. No, not funny. Okay.
It definitely feels like that.
Oh, man, that's crazy. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, I am J.B. Michaels. I write a lot of books, okay, which is just my thing. That's what I do. One of the things I do. New book coming out soon. Why the F do I need life insurance? Okay, that's my new book. It will be free of charge. Ass is dropping barrettes. Like rubber. Ass? Did I call you ass? I meant Ash.
No,
is
I dropped
dropping.
a hair tie.
Okay, she dropped a hair tie. Okay, so now so why the F do I need life insurance is coming out soonish. There's also 3 other series that you could get into, award-winning series. You look great. Of course, you always look great. Well, not always, but I mean, right now you do. Okay, so and then so please check out. We've got murder mysteries. You've got fantasy action adventures. You've got holiday thrillers. It's really a great.
Now, I'm just
really
curious.
great variety. Yeah.
Curious.
Sure.
Which book series is the most successful?
The supernatural thrillers.
No, it's
for
not.
Sure.
It is definitely not. It's definitely the murder mystery series. And
Right.
who came up with the idea for that?
You did.
Thank you.
You did,
Just want
my
everyone
dear.
to know.
Oh yes, you
Everyone
did.
just loves JB and thinks he's so great, but
Well, that's also true. Okay, so yeah, check out those books. Go to MrMichaels.com, HarrisonandJamesPublishing.com. Also, just whatever. I'll put in the links where you can check that out. Amazon,
do you
Barnes
actually
and
put
Noble.
it in the links?
I do.
Oh.
Amazon, Barnes and Noble, all of the above. All of those things. So yeah, we have lots of really great content for you to check out. Also, we have exclusive episodes, which are available on Bandcamp. So magicinthemidwestpodcast.bandcamp.com has some great material. Literally 55, 56 episodes of extra content, each roughly about 20 to 25 minutes long, of us bantering back and forth and just, going off, having smackdown episodes where we say which one's better, Space Mountain or Splash Mountain, that type of thing. It's fun. Lots of fun. So check out those. Little as $3 a month. You can check those out.
What a steal.
That is a steal. It is like our time, right? Like, oh my gosh. So I won't say it. I was about to do it, but I didn't. Okay. So check those out. Also, the podcast is really we just really want to thank everybody, all the new listeners that we have. So we really appreciate you guys. Thanks for discovering us. Please share the podcast. Those of you who have, thank you so much for doing so. It really helps us out. We've had a record number of downloads, record number of video views on YouTube. So things are rolling here, which is fantastic.
Rolling with the homies.
So thank you. What the what? Anyway, that was terrible. The way you said that, just the way you look when you say it. Okay, so
I think you really took that.
I'm just kidding. So we also all those people that we have in the podcast and talking with the podcast and people whatever in general, we've met some great people as well. One of those people is
Emily. She is a great friend of ours that we've met, like JB said, through the podcast, and she is first and foremost a friend, but also a very
Thank
talented.
you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Sorry.
Are you though?
You're a pal and a confidant.
I mean, one of the best shows ever.
It is really well
I
written.
mean, so good.
It
Anyways,
really is.
we were watching it the other night and really laughing. I guess it was a while ago now.
That was a while ago. We should get back into it.
Yeah, we should. If I were a golden girl, which one would I be?
You are definitely your humor and the way you react to your own mother is very much Dorothy. I mean, it really, really is. I mean, you're definitely more, B. Arthur than you are the rest of them. You know what I mean?
But I feel like otherwise, I feel like outside of her humor, I'm not her though.
Yeah, but I mean, the way you react to things is very much similar.
That's true.
You're very level-headed, and Dorothy's level-headed.
Yeah. Halloween idea. One time, me and a few girlfriends went as the Golden Girls, and we had the most fun you could ever have on Halloween. So if you're looking for
which one were you?
Blanche.
You were Blanche.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to have fun on Halloween, it's
Yeah.
a great idea. Anyways,
It is.
Back to Emily.
Yeah.
She is a super knowledgeable, amazing vacation planner, and she does specialize in Disney and Universal and Disney Cruise Line. But you can book anything book any travel accommodations through her. So you should definitely get a hold of her. The best way to do that is through email, and her email is emily@magicalmousetravel.com. She will do everything for you from accommodations to dining to fast passes, fingers crossed that those come back, help you arrange your travel accommodations and airport transfers and all of it. And it comes at no cost to you. So definitely consider doing it, even if you're a DVC member or you have you like planning your own trips because you know a lot of the stuff. You can still have her buy the tickets and stuff, that helps a small business owner. So check her out. She is great, super fun, super nice, and like I said, super knowledgeable. Emily@magicalmousetravel.com. And if you do contact her, just let her know that we sent you over.
Yes. Definitely check that out. So today, ladies and gentlemen, on the 68th episode of the Magic in the Midwest podcast, you okay?
I just bit my own tongue somehow, just taking a sip.
You guys, I cannot express to you how big of a disaster Ashley truly is. Okay? It's a miracle this podcast exists. I'm just telling you. It's a miracle. Okay. But anyway, she's bit her tongue. Yes.
I feel drinking water.
Right.
I'm not even chewing.
No, you're not. I don't even know what you're doing, girl. So anyway.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Back to
the pod. Which I guess
and
we should probably get into this podcast quicker. I feel like it's 8 minutes and...
No, I feel like a lot of housekeeping stuff takes forever. People do it for half the episode.
Okay, well...
And you know what? You want to know who went on and on out of that whole time? You. I talked for
like
a minute.
Did. You kind of went on,
you know what I've realized listening to the podcast? I'm just going to say it right now in front of everyone. Go have yourself. When you go on and on and on and repeat yourself, hey, this is a prime example of what I'm about to say. You go on and say the same thing over and over again. And if I spend just what you think of as a little too much time going over something, you start cutting me off. That ends today.
That ends today. Ashley 16 says so.
You just think that you're better than me, and you
I'm
flat
not
out
better than
are
you.
not.
I'm not better than you.
You're not. So stop acting like it on the pod.
I'm just funnier and more charismatic. Okay, so now.
I don't even need to dignify that with a response. You die. Will you just get into the podcast? No one wants to hear you go, oh, it's so annoying.
Okay. So we left Animal Kingdom after we rallied and had a great night. We went back to Dinosaur, took a picture by a Parasaurolophus statue, and had a great night. Then we left. We came back to the Polynesian. Harrison and I went swimming. We told you that part. Guys, unfortunately, what would happen next okay, is not the best. Okay, unfortunately, we did not have the most pleasant sleeping experience.
Well, we kind of already went into that, though.
We did a little bit, but this was like another night of it happening.
Well, we went pretty depth into the whole experience.
Yeah, but we did say we'd return to it. So it happened again. We had the neighbors next door that were being rather...
Well, they were bad every single night. So.
Right.
I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about this.
We won't. We don't want to be negative, right? We want to be positive.
No, I want to be negative.
But
I like being negative
but
about
it was,
everything.
No, you don't.
Give me my Beret back.
Beret. Give me my Beret back. It's going down for real. Okay.
Hey, take your water. Sorry.
Do not speak to him during the podcast.
I know. I want him to hydrate.
Do
That's
not speak to him. He doesn't even know where his water is.
Love you, Harrison.
He has no idea.
I love you more than Dad does.
He has no
Get
clue.
your water.
All right.
Okay,
It's probably upstairs.
Okay, go upstairs.
Okay. All right.
Dehydrate. It's fine.
We take care of him. We do. DCFS. I'm kidding. All right. So... I'm kidding. No, he's fine.
That's not. People aren't going to think that's funny.
Yeah, you're right. Your
And
mom says it all. Your mom says it all the time. It's how twisted these people are.
Well, she says it like as a joke.
Sort of.
To us, it's a joke, not to everyone else that she says it to.
Hashtag no comment. Hashtag no comment. All right, so whatever. We still didn't have the best night's sleep. We did not go into Magic Kingdom really early. We decided, let's just take it easy. We'll go in a little later, So we went into Magic Kingdom, I think, in the afternoon, right? Like later in the afternoon.
Yeah, it was like
3, 4?
Like 3 or 4.
Yeah, so we had like a pool day, which was wonderful. The lava pool at the Polynesian is just the best. So we kind of hung out at the pool. Harrison and I played with our droids that we just got from Galaxy's Edge, and we just had a really nice time. And then, so then we decided we would go in later to the Magic Kingdom. All right, so we did go into Magic Kingdom a little later in the day. Like we said, the first thing we did was Pirates, right?
I think it was. And when we walked in, it was a little overwhelming because this was when, you had to wear the mask everywhere, outside, inside, the whole deal.
Yeah.
And, we were prepared for that. We were, we kind of knew what to expect. But Florida, even in April, it felt like I was on the surface of the sun at that point in the day. It's the hottest point of the day. And we were walking in, and basically... Magic Kingdom, I don't know if you remember this, when we turned into Adventureland, basically it was like lined. Both sides of the walkway were like lined with people that had like gotten a slushie or a drink so that they could sit down and take their mask off and drink it because they were so hot, because that's the point of the day it was. So it was pretty crowded and people were feeling it, and I think a lot of those people were people that had been in there all day long and they had hit a breaking point. Yeah. As you often do, and no one talks about it. I hit breaking points at Disney multiple times a day.
Right.
So anyways, so we got in the line for Pirates, and it felt long at first, but it's because we started outside, and it was super hot where we were
that's
standing.
what a lot of people are reporting.
Yeah.
Even to this day, and it's worse now.
Right.
Like when we went, the capacity was not raised. So, from what I'm hearing, the lines were rough this time from multiple sources.
So when you say the lines were rough, you
mean they
like,
were outside, not covered. They were so far out. They were still somewhat socially distanced.
Okay, so they were still doing that.
So they still had those markers in place. But you were outside in the heat, in the sun, for a lot of the lines.
And that's when it gets you, because for a lot of times you'll kind of pick a line where you're like, okay, like Space Mountain, you're going to be inside for a decent amount, and you're going to be cooled off, but you weren't getting that. And I don't know if this is something that we remembered to talk about, but we noticed that even when we did hit the points where you were inside, the air felt like it wasn't turned up.
They did
or
not
turned down, however you want to say it. Was it cool?
Did not have it going.
No!
Like they've done in the past.
Because normally you get that point and it's like really...
Oh, you're like, oh, this
but
is
you
great.
need it because it's so hot. And I mean, sometimes I felt like in the inside it was just like dead air. And it was like damp and slightly cooler. Maybe.
Yeah.
And we weren't, I'm like, you really more than ever need to get hit with the cold air. And it wasn't happening.
Definite costs cutting.
Yes, because in stores I noticed it, and in stores I thought maybe they're trying to get people to like not just be in here because it's cool. They're trying to keep people moving.
Yeah.
But it was disappointing in the like sit down attractions like Carousel of Progress.
Yes, it wasn't that cool in there.
No, so that was after you're kind of struggling through the line, it was sort of like, geez, I mean, I know I'm kind of nitpicking, but it was definitely noticeable.
Yeah, it was.
So, anyways, I felt like the Pirates line felt to me like the longest line we stood in because of the time of day. It was really hot, and we spent a lot of time outside. And then when we moved to the covered area, we weren't really like inside yet, but there was all the plexiglass up.
Yeah.
So then you felt like the air wasn't moving at all in there.
Right.
So it just was... We had a situation where someone like got out of line and back in line, and then they were holding up the line, and the cast member was letting them do it. Do you kind of remember that? And so we just kind of stood in that one spot in the sun for a long time, and you were just like, "Oh my gosh,
please let this end." Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's sadly it's a very much like a, I want to say it's very much a. Symptom of like a result, an impact, an outcome from obviously what happened, and because Disney did lose a lot of money, but I feel like the people who are there now are like paving the way for a better future. You know what I mean? Like we were there, people that we know have been there. It's not quite the same yet. It is not Disney 2019.
And you know what? I'm not sure it ever will be Disney 2019, like the way, when thinking Fast Passes and Magical Express and all that, it's not going to go back.
Oh, for sure. A lot of it will still be different.
That it was. But yeah, I mean, that experience, and, part of it is it can't be helped in a way, right? There's capacity issues, not issues, but they're increasing capacity, and now with the masks going, as we're recording this, they reinstated masks in lines, indoors, and transportation, I think, as of right now. So it'll be interesting to see if they keep the line distancing the same, or are they going to push it back out as far as it was, or, what's going to happen, I don't know. But it definitely, and like you said, we weren't there just a week ago. This was back in April when the capacity was way lower, and it still was uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
The line in Pirates was but I think that was the only one that really felt weird.
I mean, that's sort of how I think it was pronounced, but normally when we're going about our normal, like going in the morning, come back. When we come back into the park that second time, it's usually 4:00, and it is uncomfortable during that time.
But it's only going to last
January,
for a little bit of time.
But you just sort of know, like, this ride and maybe the next one, and we get through that, and it's going to get better.
Yeah, it'll get better. Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting... it's an interesting thing that we have, set up that we had. You know what I mean? And it's like a... I feel like we were there probably right before things rapidly started to change even more. Like they kind of were opening up more.
I think they took the masks back
like
to
a couple
the point
weeks after.
Where,
you know what I mean?
Not all the way up, but yeah, like you didn't have to have them on outside like the week after we left.
Right. Yes, they did. So like we were there still in, where those protocols were in place. So, it's still Disney, but it feels different. The mobile order thing feels different. The fact that you sort of, you need that mobile order app to do pretty much anything.
And I feel like you got to be looking at it for dinner at least, like ahead of time.
Yeah.
You can't like
Yeah.
remember at 5:30. I mean, you can, but you're gonna wait a while.
Right.
Then, you know, so you kind of
Right.
have to be on it. But yeah, I mean, there were. I'd say I know we're kind of getting off topic here, but there were a few things, and you know, we knew it was gonna be different. I'm not complaining. We knew we had a different like mindset going into
Yeah.
the trip.
Yeah.
But you know, not being able to see people's faces at Disney is
Yeah.
changes how it feels.
Right.
You know, like
Right.
kids smiling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a totally different
It is.
vibe with the mask on all the time. And then, you know, not getting those like you need like even if you walk up to Pirates and it's like, you know, Disney 2019 like we're saying, and it's a 30-minute wait, you get right inside and
Yeah.
you're cooled off.
Yes.
And it's almost immediate once
Yeah.
you decide. This
Yeah.
is like you're gonna wait 30 minutes in the beating sun where I'm like reapplying sunscreen 8 million times the hair
Right.
because we're so
Right.
fair. And then you do get inside and it doesn't really feel that
No.
cool.
No.
So it was, you know, it was different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did. Then we went. I think. Did we go to Big Thunder right after that? I think we might have. And we swapped. You know, because Harrison didn't
time.
want to.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
swapped this time. Harrison didn't want to do it. But this was weird. Okay, and we've talked about. Did we talk about this?
I don't know. I don't even
completely.
remember what you're gonna say.
I think maybe we talked about this, or maybe I saved it because I was like, I'm going to save it for the day that we talk. But that was when we saw the Club 33
Oh yeah.
situation.
I don't think we did talk about it. Maybe we did a
Maybe
little
we did
bit.
a little bit.
Yeah.
But I was waiting for you to be done with Big Thunder, and this woman dressed up in like the concierge like level type uniform, had a fancy bag with her, and she had walked this family over, and they had passes in their hand, and they walked right on to Big Thunder Mountain because she was, what I didn't realize, she was a tour guide or concierge for Club 33.
Which you should explain for those
Okay.
people that don't know what it is.
So Club 33 is a special, very, very exclusive, very rich, I should say, dinner club. It started as a dinner club in Disneyland in New Orleans Square. There's a dinner club restaurant that is above Pirates of the Caribbean, I believe, that people would go to in Disneyland and pay lots of money to have to have dinner there, to get catered to all this stuff. So I was like, Club 33. I was like, oh. And so I walked up to this woman in the concierge type outfit, and I was like, so how does one get into Club 33? And she said,
Is it by having a really great podcast?
is it because you have Magic of the Midwest podcast? That's right. I have a podcast with 3 listeners. No, I'm kidding. No, but I asked her, and she said, she's like, I'll do you really want to know? And I was like, yeah, well, okay, well, I will. I'll tell you. It's like, you have to apply. And I was like, really? And she's like, yes, you must apply. There's very limited spots open, and they are starting this. This was like really, I guess, the pilot program
For Disney World.
for Disney World,
Right.
Because remember, it's only in Disneyland at
right,
this point.
right now.
But they
Is it in
are
any of the
expanding it.
Other...
I don't know about the other international parks.
Yeah, okay.
So I asked her, she's like, you have to apply. Basically, you have to have a lot of money. Stop kicking me.
Because it was an accident.
She kicked me. And you have to
But basically,
sort
it's
of
like a...
write like an essay, basically, as to why you should be in
Oh,
it.
your essay would be really good.
And what, basically you just kind of have to really push it. Sell it yourself to get in here, and then you have to pay them money.
And it's like an annual...
So it's an annual thing, and you get exclusive
Are we supposed to
fast
say?
passes. I don't. Yeah, no, you could say it. I mean, people could look it up.
Oh, okay.
There are some perks, right? There's special areas of the park you can relax. Secret areas in the park. You can relax. Secret spots.
Sounds really weird.
Secret spots in the park. Anyway.
That is a really weird.
Come in. Yes. Anyway, sorry, I don't know what that's where that's
Doesn't
coming
sound
from.
like anyone wants you to.
Hello. Okay. So we
That got weird.
I don't know. So you get these crazy exclusive fast passes. Okay.
Exclusive secret areas.
You get secret areas. You get dinner made for you with, the chefs that cater to your needs,
Oh.
It's pretty
it's
fancy.
Fancy.
Pretty fancy.
Fancy
over
pants.
here.
Yeah.
Right. So, Club 33.
What about like accommodations in terms of like where you stay? That's separate. You just stay wherever you stay.
I think that's a separate thing. I think it's a separate thing. This is
So-
about park tickets, park availability,
tickets.
park reservations.
So do your park tickets,
You get
they're
any-
included.
Yes. You also get like guest passes, but you also get like special dining reservations. Basically anywhere you want to eat. If you want dining reservations, they'll make it happen. Okay? They'll make it happen.
Do you want to be a Club 33 member one day?
Yeah.
You
Let's
do?
do it. Let's at least for a year, see what it's like. You know what I mean? It's good for the podcast.
I don't think you can report
No,
on
you
it.
can't really talk about it, I guess.
So it's not good for the podcast.
So it's not
good
good
for our ego.
It's good for our egos.
No, like how much is it? Like 8 mil or what?
I know back in 2007, it was $14,000
A year.
a year.
And that covered your tickets, your fast passes,
Dinners.
and your dinners.
Sort of like a country club type of situation.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So, there you go.
So it's not more on top of it to eat.
No. It's included.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are you basically you're like an annual pass holder?
Yes, essentially.
With perks. Big perks.
With big time perks. Which means if in 2007 it was that much, it's probably like 25 grand.
I was going to say at least. Yeah,
So-
25.
25 G's to be fancy at the Magic Kingdom. We know where the Club 33 is for Magic Kingdom. We found it.
I took a picture of it.
We took a pic of it. We're not going to say where it is. We know where it is, though. So if you want to know, contact us.
Email us.
We'll tell you.
We'll tell you where it is.
We'll tell you where it is, and then we'll
And
have
then
to kill you. So, good luck with that.
We just
Right.
happened to see it.
We did. It's weird. We actually
After
went.
we
yeah.
talked to the lady later on that night.
Yeah, we walked past
and
there,
we were
we're
like,
like,
wait a
"Wait a
second.
minute."
And then, remember, I was taking a picture because there's like this little symbol on the door.
Yes,
If
secret
it's for
symbols.
secret symbols.
The lost symbol.
And I was taking a picture of it, and this cast member was like all up in my business.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I was not supposed to
Oh,
be doing
yeah,
that. And
we
I
were-
just tried to act like I was looking for something and very slyly
She
was
did.
putting my
She
phone
did.
up.
That was pretty good of you.
And still, it was a guy actually. He was
Yeah.
watching.
Oh yes,
He was aware of us.
he was aware of what we were doing. So yes. So just think about that. Club
I'm sure that
33.
there are like websites out there though where people have said where all these spots are.
Right, probably.
Because I mean, you can. It's not. They obviously don't want it to be that big of a secret if they're posting.
They don't really promote it though.
No.
It's
I
not
think-
promoted.
Didn't you say though that at Disneyland when they launched it, there was like a waiting list for years to try to get on it?
Yes.
Because they only have so many spots.
Right.
So I would imagine if this is a pilot program, once it goes and they offer it and people know it's available, it will be closed and there'll be a waiting list for like 7 years.
Sort of like season tickets
yeah.
for like the Bears or Cubs or whatever. So, yeah, pretty interesting stuff. So tonight, I feel like this night, where did we eat this night? Did we eat at Pinocchio? We have Village House, didn't we?
I
right?
think. Yeah, because you
But
know
we-
what? The second night we ate at Pico's Bills because I remember because Katie wanted us to come meet her.
Yes.
it was our last night.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And we were like, "Can we do it? No, we can't. We have to
No,
get
we
up and get
can't.
on a plane at
She
6 a.m."
She was in Universal when she said that. So we were not there. Okay. So, what else is there? What else
So we ate it.
We ate it.
Pinocchio's Village House.
Pinocchio's Village House had a nice dinner. I really liked that place. It was pretty empty too.
For the first time, it wasn't. For the first time, we were like aware of the fact that you could eat upstairs, and we were going to try and do it, but it was closed off. Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to do that. So that's okay. We'll make it up there eventually. Probably have it open now. One would think, given how many people are there.
I don't know.
We did just get reports that Magic Kingdom was cray. Like the crowds were.
For a rope drop
everywhere.
It was nuts.
He said everyone who was just there said it was nuts. The crowds were huge.
The crowds are huge, but we also got conflicting reports on lines. We heard that
from
some people said that lines were really long. Now here's my question on that. And other people said they didn't wait very long, and the posted wait times were way over what they actually waited. And I'm seeing that now with people that I'm following. It says wait time 75 minutes, actually waited
50.
23 or something crazy. So I'm wondering if maybe someone just had a different experience. Totally possible. It just depends, on the timing and all that. Or because of our situation with Pirates, does it feel like a really long time?
Right. Could be.
It's not really, because you're not cooled off. You're outside.
That's true.
The sun's beating down on you, and you don't have any fast passes to sort of offset that feeling in certain lines. So I'm wondering. I'm not saying that person lied and they didn't know how long they stood in line, but I wonder, that can really impact how long it feels. Because I don't have it set super low.
Well, why? What do you do about?
Just pause it.
Hold on. So it's differing accounts. So I mean. You're right. Is it length that people are more worried about, like actual length of the actual line?
Right.
Or is it just because it was hot when you were out there and it just felt like it went on forever? I did hear also accounts that it was really crowded and that it was rough getting around. And sometimes you sort of had... crowded? I think they're jamming the parks.
Yeah, but summer notoriously was a time that wasn't super busy, and they haven't opened all the annual passes, so you can't do the locals argument. So it's
food and wine is there too.
But why not just wait till the fall? Most people do that.
Although I did hear from my sister, she said Epcot was not so bad.
That's
probably because it was under construction, but she's like Epcot. To her, in her experience, was the least crazy.
Even with food and wine, interesting.
Even with food and wine right now.
Well, I mean, it's a lot more spaced out than Magic Kingdom is.
So interesting to see, just how different it is. But yeah, so, I don't know. Pretty interesting to me. Then we kind of, Ash and I this night, we sort of hit the mountains pretty all of the mountains, except for Splash. But then we went over to Space Mountain this night as well, which was really fun. This was the time after we almost tried to get Harrison on. That was before. Right, so this one wasn't the time that I was like, Harrison could totally do it. No, this time we just bypassed that and didn't do that. So which is it is what it is. So then Harrison and I were in the Space Mountain store waiting for you, and Harrison was putting out a bunch of different hats. Like the Mickey Sorcerer's hat. He loved it. He just thought it was fantastic. I really like that shop, the Space Mountain shop.
Me too.
That you walk out into.
I love Tomorrowland at night.
Yeah, Tomorrowland at night.
It's great.
It is cool.
It's open. This big. That's like one area of Magic Kingdom that is open and has big spaces, kind of.
Yeah. Was that the night we saw the 4K WDW guy, or is that in January? We saw. Okay, so there's this.
No, I'm pretty sure it was April, because I don't think People Mover was open in January.
It was that night. So the 4K WDW guy was walking around, filming when we were there, which is kind of neat, because he's tall, very tall, and he just holds up a camera and he just walks around the parks and just has a...
He has really great videos.
He does. He does a really nice job. Very high quality.
If you want to put on a Disney video like in the background to just have on and,
listen to the sounds and
just look at everything. He does them like at night too. Like you can see Magic Kingdom at night. You should definitely look up those videos. They're great.
On YouTube, 4K WDW. Definitely a shout out to that. I really like those walkthrough videos. Those are really neat. And then of course, when we were there was still no fireworks.
Right.
So, after we did space, there really wasn't, much else for us to do, right? So we could have done a bunch of other things.
Well, the park didn't stay open that late.
No.
Wasn't it like 8?
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it was open only 8.
And I think we stayed till the end.
They extended the hours because it was supposed to be
like 6 or 7 or something like that. Yeah.
So they extended it, and then we went back. But what was nice about the Magic Kingdom days, we did 2 in a row, but what was nice is we had access to the monorail. Mm-hmm. So it was very easy to get back and forth via the monorail. So that's one awesome thing. Now, the weird thing about the monorail for our particular trip is that the Polynesian monorail station wasn't open. It was under construction. Yeah. So every monorail trip, we had to go to the Transportation and Ticket Center, which luckily is super close to Moorea, where we were staying, our longhouse. So that wasn't a big deal. But, still very cool to just have that access, right? It just is. And then, so...
And we hit other rides too, like Small World, and I think Journey of the Little Mermaid, and a few other things too.
Yes. And then it was this night, I believe, that Justin Fields was drafted by the Chicago Bears. This was draft day.
It was, because, remember, that was the same time that we were in line for People Mover, because there was that other Bears fan that was like, yes!
Yeah, all these... Well, it was like a Jets fan.
Oh, you're right.
The Jets
we were watching
before the Bears. Yeah. So they got, I forget who they drafted. Zach Wilson. I think that's his name. Whatever, doesn't matter. But yeah, so everybody, all these people were looking at their phones because the NFL draft was happening. So we went back. This is a great story, and I'll always remember this. This is one of the coolest things. So we were back at the hotel and just relaxing. It was like we got back, I'd say, about 8:15 or so, whatever. And Harrison was being really silly on the bed, like just going, brr, 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 brr. And it's just like, and then like pretending like he was gonna fall asleep, and then just rolling around and then going, it was bizarre, but it was funny. So the kid is quite the humorous person. He's very, very funny.
He is. And cute and amazing.
He really is. He really is. So
he is his mother.
Right. I just think he's him, actually. Whatever. So we just were goofing around, and then he got up, and you and him were getting him dressed, or maybe he was taking a bath or something. Mm-hmm. And I look at I'm put on ESPN, because of course Disney owns ESPN, of course. So I was like, well, ESPN is what I'm putting on for draft day. So I look, and it's the 11th pick, and they didn't announce it yet because the 11th pick was not. The Bears had like 20 or something. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, I got some time before the Bears pick. Look up on the screen, and behind the commentators, it said the Bears have the 11th pick. They traded up, and I was like, what? That says Bears behind them. And it took the commentators like a minute or two to realize that, okay, wait, the Bears traded up, and now they have the 11th pick. I immediately started texting your dad and my dad. I was like, what is going on? Their Bears got the pick. They moved up. And then, sure enough, the Bears picked Justin Fields, who's automatically like a superstar. I mean, to the Chicagoans, right? So, great quarterback from Ohio State. Real good guy, real good kid, dedicated. Just really exciting. So I'll always remember when the Bears drafted Justin Fields. So hopefully it'll pan out and be huge. But we were at Disney. I was sitting at the Polynesian when that happened. Kind of neat. Sorry, I'm going on and on about it.
You
Sorry.
really are.
I'm sorry. Could you chime in? What were you doing?
I was falling asleep.
Oh gosh. Okay. So then the next day, Harrison and I decided to go. You stayed back for whatever reason.
I did. I stayed back.
Being a grump.
I was pretty grumpy. We talked about that, because we discussed my cycle on the podcast.
Grumpville.
So
USA.
instead of getting mad at me about it, you should.
Go ahead. Thank you for being a fan. I'm getting the look. I'm going to die. Help me.
But I had to take myself out of the situation, so I did.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
To do.
I was glad that you took a rest.
I just needed to chill.
Chill.
That was the morning that I heard some really weird stuff from the neighbors.
Like what?
Remember I told you the licking of the toes?
Yeah, that was weird.
It just got real weird.
Like telling a kid to lick their brother's toes or something. It's very weird.
Yeah, lick salsa off their toes.
What is wrong with people?
Among other strange things.
Oh my gosh.
The lady next to us was
pretty sick.
It was weird. That's all I'm going to say. We're not going to go into any more detail.
Yeah, we don't need. You're right.
It was just strange.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yes, I stayed back and I went and got myself some breakfast from Captain
Cook's. Your fave.
And I just chilled. Sorry. Tired. And just, relaxed.
Yeah,
and,
good.
You guys had a really fun morning at Magic Kingdom.
We did. Harrison and I took a boat by ourselves. We were the only people on the boat, which is cool. We felt really special. So we went across the Seven Seas Lagoon. And the skipper, the boat captains, were talking to us that they were testing fireworks. Back in April, they were testing the fireworks. Obviously, now the fireworks are back up and running.
Right, and Happily Ever After is going to stop. We need to talk about that at the end.
Oh,
maybe that'll be our Bandcamp exclusive.
Oh, man, we had a lot of news items that we didn't talk about, but that's okay.
Maybe we can do that in the exclusive.
Yeah. So, all right. So then Harrison and I go and forget what we did first. I can't remember. Harrison and I went and did stuff. I think maybe we did Winnie the Pooh.
Harrison, do you remember what you did first?
Did we do Winnie the Pooh?
That morning that was just you and Dad?
Remember we got the slushie?
Oh, yeah.
What ride did you do first?
Did we not Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, we did. We did Winnie the Pooh, and then after that we went and got Slurpees or slushies.
And what did you do after that?
And then we this is cool. This is a great tip. Okay?
From Tips?
From Tips. Tips is back, everyone. So we went to got our slushie, and then there's this little nook, okay, right by the castle, okay, where Mickey and Minnie's that one shop is. I forget the name of the shop. The brave little tailor shop. With all the princess stuff.
Like Does it have the Sleeping Beauty dress
in
it?
Yes.
In the window?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we went over there, and actually one of the entryways, which is near like the side of the back of the castle, right? Mm-hmm. There's benches there, which nobody ever sits at. Like, it's just these hidden little nooks that people walk right past.
I can't quite imagine where the nooks are, but okay.
Yeah, so it's really right behind the castle.
Okay.
And Harrison and I sat back there and had our slushie, which was really funny because Harrison was pretty exhausted, I think, just from the whole trip, which he was a trooper because he literally walked everywhere.
And he was kept up really late by those people next door.
By the people that were licking toes.
The toe lickers.
Toe lickers. And Harrison, literally was eating his slushie, staring out into space. Just completely.
Harrison, you see Dad?
Completely spaced out. He had the spoon resting on his bottom lip, just I was like, "You're gonna eat the slushie, dude?"
It's hot.
Yeah, it was hot. Ash and Harrison can't handle the heat.
We don't. We're Norwegian. We're built for other climates.
Yes, you're built for the fjords. Norway. So anyway.
Why is that so?
Norway. That was the maelstrom. So Harrison would just
must be,
stare.
like,
It's
on
like,
drugs
Harrison,
or
are you
something.
gonna have like the slushy I just got you? He's like, oh yeah. He was laughing.
Yeah, but you're
I was
like
making him
Irish.
laugh.
Why are you okay with the heat?
I don't know.
What else do you have? What
I
else do you
got a
have?
lot of things. I don't know. Sudanese, so I think it's hot in Sudan.
A little bit.
Right. All right. So we just had a blast. That we'll go more into. We'll finish that up later. But silliness had by all. But that's a fun story that I'll always remember with me and Harrison. We took pictures of this slushy situation, which was great. But just another moment that makes going to Diz and stuff special. So
Indeed.
all right, Ash. Anything to add before we go?
No, I think that's it. Just no, that's it.
Okay. No. Yeah. Really, you're really bringing it tonight.
Thank you.
Anyway, so Magic in the Midwest podcast.bandcamp.com is where you can find more exclusive episodes, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening. Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Deezer, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon, wherever it is that you listen. Like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, which is JB Michael's YouTube channel, which I get yelled at constantly about. I know I gotta
But
move
it's
it
still
to the
not
Magic in the
different.
Midwest.
So we're gonna keep getting yelled at.
Right. So, all right, all right, from the Midwest. See you later.